Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pickdawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shop Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Friday, November 18th, 2022. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball plays in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, you can always find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here are 5 games for college hoops Friday night. First up, we see the main event in T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, a 9:30 Eastern start time between number 19 Illinois and UCLA, number 8 ranked UCLA. It's going to be on ESPNU. Now, both of these teams have had great starts to the season. Now, they haven't played the toughest of schedules, but they've earned blowout wins in all of their games. We see UCLA beating Sacramento State 76-50 in their opener. Then they beat Long Beach State 93-69, and then Norfolk State 86-56. So 3 blowout wins. And I would say, Long Beach State and Norfolk State, 2 teams ranked inside the top 200, and 2 teams that I think are going to be threatening to make a tournament run in their conferences in the MEAC and in the Big West this year. So not too bad of wins for UCLA, especially when you're winning by double digits and 20-plus points. Now, on the other side, Illinois, a worse strength of the schedule. They played some weaker opponents. Eastern Illinois, they beat them by 30. UMKC, they beat them 86-48, and then Monmouth 103-65. Not a really good Monmouth team this year. So yes, both teams earned blowout wins, but I do think that UCLA should be getting more credit for their victories against, I think, could be, tournament teams. Norfolk State's been in the NCAA tournament quite a few times in recent years. Now, I do think UCLA is the better team on both sides of the ball, especially on offense. This is a very experienced team, but it's also a very good shooting team. Right now, ranked 30th in the nation in effective field goal percentage and number 21st in the country in three-point percentage, 43.3% as a team so far. On the other side, Illinois struggling with their three-point shots so far, just ranked outside the top 100, 36%. Against the UCLA perimeter defense that's ranked inside the top 15, I don't think Illinois is going to be able to do too much damage on the perimeter, so they're going to be forced to look inside, and UCLA's got a good defense both on the perimeter and inside the paint as well. Even though the front court not as strong as where we've seen in recent years for UCLA, this is still a really good Bruins team. They force turnovers. They don't really turn the ball over much. I think they have the advantage in this game, so I'm going to take UCLA and lay the points in what should be a fun game to watch. Next up, we see another main event game between Baylor, the number 5 ranked Baylor Bears, and number 16 Virginia, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2, again at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. I think Virginia is a really underrated team, and you can just look at it. They're ranked in the AP polls, ranked 16th, but in KenPom, they're ranked 6th. So I do think this is a Virginia team that's going to be flying under the radar for most of the season. I really like head coach Tony Bennett. I think he's built a really good program. Obviously, won a national championship a couple years ago, and I like the experience that this team has. Kihei Clark back again. Seems like he's played for Virginia for 10 years now, but I just don't love this matchup, this particular match. I think Virginia matches up well with almost every team in the nation, but Baylor is just that one team that I don't really like their chances. And the big thing is when you're playing Virginia, you have to be able to shoot the 3-ball. And we're already seeing Virginia this season ranked 255th in 3-point defense. They're still 10th in the nation in adjusted defensive efficiency. They're very good against 2-point field goals. They're very good on the defensive glass. They force plenty of turnovers, but they do sometimes give up a lot of open shots, just the way that their defense is set up. They give up a lot of open shots on the perimeter, and Baylor can certainly take advantage of that. We saw last year and in years prior, this has been one of the better perimeter shooting teams in the nation, and you got one of the better perimeter shooters in Adam Flagler, who's already 11 of 19 this year from 3, 57.9%. I do think Baylor's going to be able to exploit that Virginia defense. Baylor's number 3 in the nation in adjusted offensive efficiency, and this is still a very good defensive team. They force plenty of turnovers. Now, yes, they haven't had a very strong schedule so far, but neither has Virginia, so this is definitely the biggest test for both of these teams. I think Baylor's going to win it, so I'm going to take Baylor on the money line in this neutral site game. Next up, we see Villanova taking on Michigan State. The Spartans land 4. Totals at 134. It's going to be an 8 o'clock Eastern start time on Fox Sports 1. I like the under, even at a pretty low number as it is. I think there's some value on the under. Villanova plays a very slow pace both on offense and defense. This is the 351st ranked average possession length on offense Villanova has, and 310th on defense, while Michigan State, they've been outstanding defensively. They hold Gonzaga to 64 points, and then they beat Kentucky in double overtime with another great defensive performance in that game. And now Michigan State ranked inside the top 15 in adjusted defensive efficiency. They play a pretty slow pace of offense as well, 245th in average possession length. So So I don't expect a lot of possessions in this game. And, both of these teams have kind of been so-so shooting the ball. Michigan State's ranked 225th in effective field goal percentage. Villanova ranked outside the top 75 as well. So, I do think the defense is going to be the real test in this game. I think this is the toughest matchup that Villanova's played yet this season, which isn't great because they already have a loss. They lost to Temple on the road. But last time out, they beat Delaware State by 10, 60-50. Wasn't a great offensive showing from Nova. I don't think they're going to have a great showing here, especially when they're struggling on the offensive glass. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I'm going to take the under in Nova, Michigan State. Next up, we see another neutral site game. It's the Jamaica Classic between Georgetown and Loyola Marymount. 4:30 Eastern start time on CBS Sports Network. Georgetown laying 4 points. Total is at 150.5. Pretty steep total. I think for good reason. I'm not going to take the over just because I don't think there's a lot of value in the number. I'm just going to take the points here with Loyola Marymount because I think their offense is going to be able to score at will against a sub 150 ranked adjusted defensive efficiency in Georgetown, who struggled quite a bit defensively, both against Coppin State in their season opener and against Northwestern in their most recent game. Northwestern shot 14 of 33 from three-point range in that game. Georgetown not defending the perimeter, and I don't really trust this defense in terms of rebounding as well. I think Loyola Marymount is going to be able to collect the offensive glass quite a bit in this game. I think you look at Loyola Marymount, this is a team that's flying under the radar in the WCC this season, and a lot of that's because they started the season 2-2. They lost a couple of games to some tough teams. I mean, UC Riverside and UC Irvine, solid teams in mid-major conferences. So, although they lost that game by 15 last time out on the road, I still think Loyola Marymount is a very, very talented team and a pretty experienced team. Cam Shelton from Northern Arizona transferred a couple seasons ago. He's shooting 43% from three to start the season. I think Loyola Marymount's going to be able to take advantage of that bad Georgetown perimeter defense. I think it's going to be a back-and-forth game, and I certainly would not want to be laying points with Georgetown right now when you look at how bad that defense has performed. So give me the 4 points with the Lions of Loyola Marymount in this one. And the final game we're going to talk about for Friday's card is between Grambling and Grand Canyon. The Antelopes are big favorites here at home. It's going to be a 9 o'clock Eastern start time on ESPN+. I think we're getting a ton of value with the home team here because of a classic letdown spot for Grambling and a bounce-back spot for Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon coming off a loss against Nevada. It was 59-46. We actually took Nevada in that game. The offense was nowhere to be found for Grand Canyon. The defense did well, but now you're facing Grambling, who's ranked 325th in adjusted offensive efficiency despite their win over Colorado. A big letdown spot here because Grand Canyon, they were 7 of 17 from three in that game. 41%. That's not sustainable for this type of team offensively. And I do think against Grand Canyon, a great defense, Grambling is going to struggle quite a bit offensively. I think they could be held to under 60, maybe even 50 points in this game, and that should be enough for a cover for Grand Canyon. GCU is still ranked right around 100 in KenPom. This is a good team on paper. They suffered a bad loss against Nevada, but they've had plenty of time to practice this week. I mean, their last game was Saturday, November 12th, so plenty of days off, plenty of days of rest. I think they show up here. I think they earn the big win and blowout. So give me GCU, the Antelopes, laying the points to end the night. And that's it. Those are the games for Friday, November 18th. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to put your college basketball plays in the comment section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pickdawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.